got the best punch of the fight in so far, an overhand right a few moments ago.
Hefton's a rather slow starter. Takes him a while to get his kicks moving, get his distance figured out.
Mims has already, I think, thrown more kicks, at least to the upper body, than we saw the last time that he fought.
The last fight here last month against Kenneth Loucks from Carrollton, Georgia. Mims took a decision in that fight.
Hefton will use that left leg almost like a jab in itself, but it has quite a wallop behind it. Oh, big right hand by Mims, coming off a good round kick from Hefton.
I should tell you that Hefton has been down before. He has been knocked silly before, and he gets up from the canvas and fights that much harder.
Got such great balance for a man of 183 pounds. At the 22nd mark of round one.
Like Hefton said, Mims has a good right hand, and it's been that right hand that's caused him problems in this first round.
Round one winding to a close. Brad Hefton and Al Mims, and round one is history. We'll have more PKA, full contact karate action coming up from New Orleans in just a moment.
Hefton, like I say, starts a little slow. I don't know that he's fought an opponent that's as tall as Mims before. Takes him a little time to find the range on his kicks.
Mims comes out with a couple of left side kicks of his own, more to get them out of the way than anything. That one had a little more attempt on it. There's a good right hand over the top. He's got Hefton back into his corner.
One good right hand so far in this round for Mims. Those right hands are what carried that first round for Mims. And my unofficial scorecard, I gave it to Mims by 1 point.
Hefton getting that left leg up there. Mims works him toward the corner. Hefton comes up with a double kick with the left foot. Neither fighter has landed that much in this round, with the exception of a good overhand right by Mims and one good front kick by Hefton. Got through that time.
There was, he finally found the range with the front leg round kick, and Mims now knows what that feels like. Mims could counter, but ran into a left hand as he came in with a right hand counter.
Mims comes in, tries to go to the body inside on Hefton. Continuously flicking that left jab out there. Good left side kick by Mims that time to the midsection of Hefton.
Oh, I think Mims ducked into a knee or a shin then.
Take a look at some action from the second round. Mims moving to his right. Comes in with that side kick.
There's the Hefton roundhouse kick. Finally got the range down on it. Mims knows how that feels now.
Mims waving Hefton on to the middle of the ring. He'll find him in a hurry, I'm sure. Hefton ranked third in the world in the light heavyweight ranks.
Little redness in the right eye of Al Mims. Could be where he ducked into a kick coming up from the floor just at the end of the second round.
Mims almost caught one of Hefton's kicks that time. Cupped that left hand a little bit.
Double kicked in, picked the knee up and hesitated. Landed the second kick to
continuously trying to counter over the top with that right hand. And that time he did it nicely. There's a big right hand by Hefton. Right to the temple of Al Mims. They fight out of a clinch. Uppercut by Hefton.
Good tight right hand inside then by Hefton. Hefton goes right leg forward. He look for the back leg round kick. Switch the side, back left leg forward again.
25 seconds to go in round 3. Mims with another good overhand right. Both fighters looking for an opening here at the end of round 3. In the clinch inside, another uppercut finds the mark.
Well, you can hear the power of Hefton as he unloads those right hands.
And a left foot finds the mark right at the end of round 3. Round 4 upcoming. We've got a good one going in New Orleans, and we'll have more PKA action in a moment. Mims, the first to be in the middle of the ring, as he has been throughout this fight. Comes out with the side kicks. Really, none of the Al Mims kicks have done that much damage to Hefton. That right hand staggered him a bit, though. Moved him back in the ropes.
I think that pushed him backwards. It didn't hurt him. Mims thinks he's hurt Hefton, but all he did was push him with that right hand.
Attempted a front kick coming out. Might have got some knee in there.
I think what happened was the kick landed low. Jay Will warning him about the low kick. Here comes a back leg round kick by Hefton.
Didn't get time to get it off as Mims came in with the right hand first. Jay Will says fight out, and that's what they do.
Here's where Hefton's looking for the back leg round kick. Nope.
Hefton's had that look in his eyes like he's been trying to measure Mims for a certain kick throughout this fight, but Mims has kept him a little bit off balance with some good hand speed. Right hand by Mims caught the ear of Hefton. 25 seconds and counting down here in round 4.
Hefton's countering the back leg kicks pretty effectively.
Mims almost caught another of Hefton's kicks with his hand. Now he has Hefton in the corner. Good right hand straightens him up.
Good round for Mims so far counter-wise.
Round 4 winds to a close. And the crowd getting into this one. They know there's only 3 rounds or less to go in this light heavyweight battle. There's Al Mims, 16-3 coming in. He's wanted a crack at somebody in the top 10 for quite some time. He got it tonight.
Al Mims, good round for him. That round number 4, Brad Hefton's distance seemed a little bit off in that round. Could not get the back leg kick going.
Take a look at a flurry of action from round 4.
This is where Mims had Hefton off balance. As you see, he didn't hurt him. I think Mims thought he had Hefton hurt there, though. All he did was push him back across the ring. That happens to Hefton quite often.
We should mention this scheduled 7-rounder on a 10-point must system. The winner of a round, of course, scoring a maximum of 10. The loser of a round 9 or less. Joe Corley has it so far, even up at 38. We're in round 5.
Spinning heel kick, Hefton led the round off with then.
Well, Mims fought his way out of that one. A pretty good combination and a little bit of redness on the right eye under the right eye of Brad Hefton. Nobody's ever questioned Mims' hand talent, I guess. There's a good punch with the overhand right. Big left hook. Didn't find anything but air from Brad Hefton.
Spinning heel kick in by Hefton. Mims wisely underneath that one.
Hefton's corner wanted another low kick called against Mims. Didn't get it. Mims with a couple of lefts and a follow right.
That got his
Right on the money, and down goes Mims. A beautiful kick by Hefton. I don't know if Mims is going to make it back from that one. He's up at the count of 8. Jay Will wipes off the gloves. Fight continues. Hefton moves in on Mims. Spinning back kick, got it again, and Jay Will's going to stop it. It's all over.
What a finish. What a finish. That's the kind of way that a man can get hurt with that kind of power kick coming from Brad Hefton.
Brad Hefton, a tremendous kick, has ended this one here in round 5.
I tell you, Al Mims is making a respectable showing for himself. And then in this 5th round, Brad Hefton caught him with one of his famous kicks, his front leg round kick, and rang his bell for him. Mims was not able to come back from that.
Even as a light heavyweight, there's no denying Brad Hefton's knockout power. Now we go to Detroit, where Canada's Leo Loucks is about to meet Baltimore's Leroy Taylor in a battle for the vacant World Light-Welterweight Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bout you've all been waiting for. The Professional Karate Association Light-Welterweight Championship of the World. Scheduled for 12 rounds. Introducing first, in the red corner, from Baltimore, Maryland. He is 27 years old and stands 5 foot 11 inches tall and weighed in this morning at 147 pounds. He has a contact karate record of 14 wins, 2 losses, with 4 wins by knockout. He is ranked 4th in the Professional Karate Association World Ratings. Mr. Leroy Taylor. And in the blue corner, from London, Ontario, Canada, he is 25 years old, is 5 foot 7 and 1/2 inches tall, and weighed in this morning at 156 pounds. He has a contact karate record of 15 wins, 1 loss, with 9 wins by knockout. He is ranked number 2 in the Professional Karate Association World Ratings. Ladies and gentlemen, Leo Loucks. Our referee for this evening's bout is Truman Irving.
What a crowd reaction to Leo Loucks. Truman Irving will give them their final instructions.
As you know, there is no holding at any time. I will warn you twice. Every time you hold after that, it will be a penalty. You understand that? All right? You have to throw 8 hard kicks each round. Failure to do so, you will be penalized. Gentlemen, there's one thing that I expect of you, and that is for you to obey my verbal commands. Failure to do so will reflect negatively on you, all right? All right, there's no kicking below the waist. There's no kicking or striking when an individual is down. And he will be considered down when any part of his body other than his feet touch the canvas. In the event of a knockdown, I want the fighter scoring that knockdown to go to one of the neutral corners as indicated by me and remain there till I call you out. All right? Go to your corners, insert your mouthpiece, come back with additional vowels, and begin the contest. Good luck and good health.
Truman Irving, his usual loquacious self, giving those final instructions. This crowd is rooting for Leo Loucks. There was a spattering of applause for Leroy Taylor, but Leo Loucks caused a reaction we only see when Jean-Yves Theriault gets into the ring.
Well, I'm sure many of these fans saw their first bout 2 years ago in London, Ontario, and they know that Leroy Taylor is a force to be reckoned with.
Round number 1, scheduled for 12. If you just tuned in, Leo Loucks, the popular Canadian in blue, and in the gold pants, Leroy Taylor from Baltimore, Maryland. They're fighting for the World Championship in the light welterweight division. delivers with that left hand. He fights from the southpaw stance.
Loucks very poised. Leroy Taylor has dealt with the power of the likes of Irish Mike Brennan at 155 pounds. Told me earlier he didn't think that Loucks had that kind of power.
Loucks delivers his punches and kicks straight in. There's no looping. He's going to hit very, very hard with focused techniques.
I'm sure Truman Irving, the referee, will be watching very closely for any clinching. Remember, no clinching allowed in PKA matches. We heard him warn the fighters very strictly about that.
Hard body shot by Loucks. Look at that.
Loucks getting a lot of adrenaline unloaded in this first round. When we say he throws everything hard like Terrio does, you can see it there. He doesn't go in and patty cake with a couple of shots to the body and then come back to the head.
Loucks ignoring some of those fancy kicks by Taylor. 10 seconds left in round number 1. Leroy Taylor pressuring. Loucks fighting back. We'll be back with round 2 right after this.
And the Taylor has quite a height advantage here. 5'11" to Loucks, 5'7½". Longer arms, longer legs. Will he use them to his advantage as he has in most of his career?
It seems as though Loucks would be more to an advantage on the inside, but at the end of round number 1, it was Taylor who was pushing against the ropes.
Taylor was warned in for holding, looped his arm around Loucks' arm.
Look at the power he's throwing. Can he go 12 rounds like that? Loucks is psyched up by this partisan crowd.
I had the first round for Loucks 10-9. The more effective, the more powerful kicker in that first round. You can hear the force of the blows, the kicks, the punches.
As you pointed out, Taylor is not laying down. He's fighting back off those ropes.
In his early career, a lot of people thought Leroy Taylor might not have heart. After Mike Brennan and Gordon Franks in his first bout with Leo Loucks, that opinion turned around quickly.
Good left hand by Leroy while you were talking, Joe. And a left hand by Loucks.
Loucks just smiling, as Terrio does, as Bob Thurman does. Leo Loucks enjoys his work. Loucks told me today, he said, if I win this title, you can count on me fighting. The light welterweight title will not remain dormant very long.
Loucks giving Taylor a dirty look at the bell like, hey, what have you got? That concludes 2 rounds scheduled for 12. Firing shots just as hard as he can possibly throw them. And he doesn't even look winded. Take a look at round 2 action. Taylor in gold, Loucks in blue.
Taylor starts. Both fighters did in round number 2.
There's a good shot of Leo Loucks, the popular Canadian. Receiving a mandatory 8 count because Speedo Brown was not out of the ring when the bell rang.
Good call by Truman Irving. Delaying the fight cost Leroy Taylor a standing 8 count. They have a 10-second warning to get out of there, and Speedo Brown wasn't out of there quickly enough.
Well, I believe he forgot to put the mouthpiece in and had to jump back in. What happened? Loucks landed on the canvas while he was holding onto the top ropes. It's not a knockdown.
Loucks slipped, got his head behind his feet, grabbed the ropes to hold himself up.
You can see Taylor waiting on that kick. He's looking for a chance to pop that side kick defensively.
Loucks is fighting, obviously, right leg forward, or as they would say in boxing, southpaw. It's not as hard to fight against as in boxing because the weapons are somewhat different. And you're not only looking at the hand, so the kicks still have to travel that distance. But Taylor is not really able to get an effective kicking attack going against Loucks, right leg forward.
Loucks fires that left leg kick in, then switches immediately back to right side forward.
Taylor's got some good power in his right hand. His last fight was in the end of the year when he won by first round knockout. Beat Edwin Dozier, first round KO in November. He only has a 28% knockout record, though.
Loucks, of course, has that 66% knockout record.
Taylor's only loss has been the former world featherweight champion, Gordon Frank.
Leo Loucks had some tremendous back leg round kicks in that third round.
Remember, when a round is even on your scorecard at home and you see one fighter is a more effective kicker, the round goes to him. That's why I gave that last round to Loucks.
Round 4. Leo Loucks in blue, Leroy Taylor in gold in the CompuWare Arena, Oak Park, Michigan. We have an equipment problem. What is it?
Time is officially called. The boot of Leo Loucks seems to have unsnapped in the back, perhaps even ripped, and the tape slipped off the boot around his ankle. Very discouraged by that, Leo Loucks. Just looked over at his corner, very disgusted by that.
Looks as though a piece of tape that was taped around the heel has broken.
A lot of power he's been throwing in that left kick. And there's no wonder that when the impact of the blow lands on the arm, it would put pressure right on that tape, reinforcing it now in the corner. Sid Chambers and Bob Wilson working in the corner with Leo Loucks.
So, of course, the time will be stopped during that whole duration.
Slowed Loucks' momentum down somewhat. I'm sure that's what irritated him.
Right swing kick, left hand, pounding Taylor in his own corner. There's Taylor with a right hand to answer it. Another warning, this time to Loucks for holding on. Taylor fighting his way out of that corner. Neither fighter intimidated. Here in round number 4.
I've given the first and third rounds to Loucks. The second round even, so I've got Loucks ahead by 2, 30-28. A sharp right hand then just landed by Taylor.
Kick, Leroy, kick! Leroy, kick!
You never wonder what Leo Loucks is in the ring to do.
You waiting too long, Leroy.
Speedo Brown in the corner yelling, kick, Leroy. He's already kicked 10 times in this round. 10 hard times. There's that kick to the head.
Nice round kicked in by Taylor. Taylor is watching very carefully in the corner. His eyes are very well focused, reminiscent of Alvin Crowder against Bob Thurman 2 years ago.
Loucks pumping in the uppercut. I'm impressed by Taylor's ability to slip those punches and absorb the power of the blows.
Taylor says he's fought 300 rounds in preparation for this bout. He's run 120 miles. Question is, will he be able to fight at this pace regardless?
There's the conclusion of round number 4. 1/3 of the way through this title bout.
As Loucks was closing in, Taylor backed into the ropes, used the ropes kind of to stabilize himself and threw a front leg kind of side kick, round kick combination. You saw it landed pretty much on the collarbone. No real damage done with it, but a very good move, strategic move by Leroy Taylor.
The interesting part, it landed with the ball of the foot, unprotected. Round number 5, scheduled for 12 for the championship of the world. Hard back leg kick by Taylor.
Loucks 3.5 inches shorter. No trouble getting the kicks up to and over the head of Leroy Taylor.
Still drilling hard round kicks in, but Taylor seems to be able to pick those kicks off now.
You can see in Loucks' eyes determination, but you can also see respect for Leroy Taylor. He's not planning to go in there and just run all over this man. Both men working effectively to the body this round. Loucks with the punches, Taylor with the front kicks.
Taylor also with a determined look, but there's a left hand. That left hand found its mark.
Taylor made sure the judges knew that he wasn't hurt by that one by coming back with a flurry. Caught him going back, knocked him back into the rope, but he was already headed in that direction. It's one of the things he does, one of the things that makes him a spoiler. He takes power off the blows coming at him. He irritates you with those front leg kicks. He drills them into your arms.
Slipped that and landed 2 right hands of his own as he spins Loucks into the corner.
For the first time since the first round, he's got Loucks against the ropes. He's leaning on him.
We're closing out round number 5. Another action-packed round in this 12-round championship fight. A good round for Leroy Taylor.
Taylor not with a bad round, but Leo Loucks comes in, drills him with this left hand. You see Taylor moving back, arches his back into the ropes. Second Loucks left hand, not a whole lot of damage.
That was a good round for Leroy Taylor, but at the same time, Leo Loucks was able to score with that hand and a couple of kicks.
Taylor was able to spin Loucks in this round. Loucks had Taylor against the ropes, who was able to get outside and put Loucks back against the ropes as he had in round 1.
Live action now, round 6. Hard body kick by Loucks. Good fake by Loucks. He came in with that fake and then threw the right hand to the head.
Taylor deceptively out of range. Loucks uses the left hand. He's got right leg forward, uses the left hand to close very effectively, but he doesn't do it when he's kicking. Taylor spins him again.
Taylor had that off-balance look, but got his balance back and spun Loucks right back into the corner. Now he's spun into the corner. Very elusive Taylor is.
I've got Loucks leading by 3 points myself now, 50-47. Most of the time, I've given it to him because of the more effective kicks.
Hard shot to the body, but he walked into a Taylor left hand.
Remember in their first bout, Loucks was cut early on. Headbutt, he said.
They are banging heads in there.
They were able to stop the bleeding, and he finished the fight and won a very close decision.
Loucks doesn't just throw the punch, he winds up, steps in, and fires it. You have to wince because you see it coming.
Taylor is now trying to neutralize those kicks by lifting his left leg as the kicks come.
number 6. We're halfway through this championship bout. Let's take a look at 6th round action, Joe.
Loucks continued to drill the shots into the body. He did run into a stiff combination by Leroy Taylor when he got himself off balance once during that round.
And here we are live in the 7th round. Taylor sticking that foot up in his face.
Loucks missed one of his mandatory kicks. That'll cost him a point on each judge's scorecard, and he'll have to throw 9 hard kicks minimum this round. That front kick to the body reminds you of Johnny Terrio off the front leg. Hit him, looked like lightly, and drove Leroy Taylor back forcefully into the ropes.
That front leg front kick snaps and lands with the ball of the foot. Taylor landed a right hand in that exchange and a left. He went down. He's receiving a mandatory 8 count.
I think he was more shoved down then than knocked down.
But Taylor thinks he has the advantage, and he's trying to press it. Taylor putting on a punching display now. The kicker is punching. Loucks is not throwing anything. He's covering up.
Loucks is waiting for an opportunity.
Taylor leaning in on him, and Loucks comes off the rope. There's a left hand to the head. As soon as Irving said go, he went.
Taylor is leaning back and taking a lot of the power off those long left hands. And Taylor is staying very calm and collected. A little more abrasion around that left eye of Leo Loucks.
That abrasion started when he went down. I don't know if they banged heads or if a right hand of Taylor caused it, but that's the end of round number 7.
Front kick drives him back into the ropes. Seems to me as he leaned back on those ropes, he loses his balance right in there.
Absolutely right, Joe. He had his leg up to kick. They jammed legs, and then down he went, but there was no blow.
The way Loucks and Jean-Yves Thériault throw those powerful back leg kicks makes you know that they do some kind of special leg work.
The crowd reacted to that head kick, but it was partially deflected.
I've got the fight dead even now.
Trading punches in the corner. Loucks working the body, Taylor working the head.
Taylor is throwing very powerful front leg side kicks. They are deceptively powerful. You see him completely stop Loucks as he starts in.
That left hand wasn't stopped, it landed.
2-punch combination by Taylor. Good combination.
Now Loucks ducking, bobbing, weaving, working on Taylor, but Taylor turned him around, Joe.
Look at the abrasion at Loucks' left eye, still very close to the eyebrow.
There's a left hand by Taylor that hurt. Taylor looking at the referee like, didn't you see that kick? It was below my belt.
Taylor is catching Loucks on the way in with the kicks. Loucks is not setting his kicks up on the way in, and Taylor is catching him.
We're closing out round number 8. Taylor looking lazy towards the end of the round, but now working. We're scheduled for 12 rounds. Leroy Taylor looking better with every round, and he started this round out with a kick.
Ismael Robles told me last week he thought he could take out either one of these fighters. Number 3 world contender.
I appreciate his confidence, but these guys are great.
Ishmael Robles wants the winner of this fight, whoever it happens to be. Discussions about that for El Paso.
Loucks walked into a right hand as you're saying that, Joe.
For the first time in the fight, I now have Leroy Taylor ahead by 1 point.
A right-left combination landed. Taylor now landing more accurately than his Loucks. More side kicks.
You can see a little lead creeping into Taylor's thighs. The legs are getting a little heavy.
He's standing flat in his corner. Now fighting back, but he was just standing there like he didn't think Loucks could hurt him.
Loucks now giving us some head movement, making Taylor miss.
Tremendous action. Round 9. We're almost 3/4 of the way through this title fight. There's a right hand by Taylor as Loucks came in.
Buckle his knees for him as Loucks approached very fast.
Round number 10 coming up. There's the bell. We're in round 10, scheduled for 12. Larry Black and Joe Corley in Oak Park, Michigan, outside Detroit, the CompuWare Arena. There's a side kick to the chin.
And a round kick by Loucks right back to the face.
Taylor pawing with that left hand. He's done more damage with the right. Looks as though he's setting it up.
Little forearm work by Loucks then as he tried to catch his balance. He just accidentally shoved his forearm into Taylor's face. Combination kicked in. That's the kind you like to see your fighters do and have them land. He was off balance from the round kick, but he used that off balance to come back with the back kick. That kept him out of trouble. Nice move by Leo Loucks. Making Taylor miss. Right, solid right hand again by Taylor.
Taylor showing the speed and Loucks is showing the power inside.
Loucks stays inside and stays covered up too long without throwing anything.
2 right hands, 3 to that eye. Loucks could be in trouble. Blood now running from the eyebrow of Leo Loucks.
Loucks perturbed with himself. Truman Irving taking a look at that cut, taking a close look at the cut.
You see the 6 on the card just in the middle of your screen. That's how many kicks Leo Loucks has in this round. 6 kicks in this round with a bad, bad cut over his eye. They were not able to stop all of the bleeding. There's a little trickle still running down the head of Leo Loucks. There's a foul against Leroy Taylor for ducking his head down.
Well, actually, he's using his head, leaning in, using his head against Taylor, against Loucks. Or so Truman Irving thought.
With a dangerous cut on the left eye of Loucks, I agree with Truman Irving. Taylor landing a succession of blows.
When we first saw Taylor fight in Atlantic City 3 years ago, he had no hands. No boxing skills at all at that time.
Taylor likes it back in his corner. That kick landed, but no power.
continuing to bump together in there.
Look at that. They trade the blows, and Taylor just keeps on punching.
Loucks keeps his head covered up, but Taylor's able to get under, between, around the hands.
Taylor again back in his corner. He likes to stay over there. He'll even just cover up and absorb the Loucks blows. Closing out the 11th round, we have 1 round remaining in this World Championship. And Loucks started out this 12th and final round with a flurry, a kick, and a punch, but Taylor fighting back again.
On my scorecard, I have Taylor winning at Loucks' game. Taylor has fought Loucks' fight and beat him at it.
With 3 points in penalties against Loucks in this fight, it looks as though he may have to score a knockout to win the fight.
Remember, our scoring here at ringside is unofficial. 3 judges score on the 10-point must system. I've got Taylor ahead by 4 points, 106-102.
As you said that, Loucks landed a left hand, and now Taylor punching back again. There's no question both these fighters were in shape for this fight. Side kick now by Loucks.
Taylor doing the forward moving for the first time in the fight.
There's another left hand high on the head by Taylor. Taylor will not let Loucks off the rope. He's pounding him. Taylor with the hands down, now doing a shuffle.
What a shame that Leo Loucks would lose 3 points on the kicks. In a round like this, he's kicked 13 times.
Crowd standing up, cheering, saying, Leo, Leo. Every time he lands even the slightest blow, they're cheering for him. Inside 10 seconds in the fight. It doesn't look like it's going to be a knockout. It could be an upset for Leo Loucks. There's the bell. And we go to the judges for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Lentz scores it 114-111. Judge Wadham scores it 113-111. Judge Keeney scores it 114-114. Winner by split decision and the new Professional Karate Association welterweight champion, Leroy Taylor.
And the winner is Leroy Taylor. They called it a split decision. It's actually a majority decision.
Joe, it was a hard-fought victory for Leroy Taylor, a victory he'd waited 4 years for.
Yeah, as we could see there at the end, he was very, very proud. He's had to work hard for everything he's ever earned. He won a lot of point karate titles, and he had fought in full contact in every division from super light to welterweight, and he had won this title and settled in as the world light welterweight champion.